Back with the Circle, and today I want to talk about this Kickstarter going on right now, as well as some Horus Heresy event stuff. So, first things first, the Kickstarter. This is for the 28mm Sci-Fi Privateer, essentially a rogue trader for Horus Heresy 30k, and it's being done by the Oz 30k team, who does a lot of different models for their events, and it's just a fun little community thing they do, along with other codexes. Some of you might, for instance, have heard of their Eldar Codex for the Horus Heresy time period, or the Great Crusade. There's also a Necron Codex out there that they've done up, and it's pretty good stuff, to be honest. And I thought I'd share this project because, hey, I know the people behind it. I'm in on it myself, obviously, right up here. I'm a backer for the $40 bracket. But the minimum bracket is the $15 bracket, and that will get you basically the female rogue trader model and a privateer pledge coin, which is one of these coins you're seeing on screen right now. Just lovely stuff. And the different levels, of course, add to the sheer amount of models that you'll get. As you can see, there are two different versions. The general sale version will be this one here with the helmeted head, sort of a Corinthian style helmet. Has sort of a Kopis style blade, the old Greek Kopis. And obviously it's not hypersexualized in any type of way, which I like, but is still unmistakably feminine, which is great. I've pulled up models like Severina Rain on this before, where it's like, what the hell? And especially the version without the helmet actually being on, very feminine because of the long flowing hair. So, good stuff, good to see. One of the stretch goals would be this very heresy specific or Great Crusade specific item right here, which I won't say the Games Workshop name of, but I'm sure if you think of tentacled monsters that take over people's brains and combine it with stories you may have heard from the Great Crusade, you can probably work out which particular faction it is. Some of the other stretches and different things you might be able to unlock include things like the Astartes without power armor on. Yeah, there's some cool models here. So definitely something worth checking out. I mean, the minimum buy-in is 15 Australian dollars. That's like $8 US. So it's pretty cheap, guys. Well worth it. Get in on it. It's on till the 2nd of December, I believe, and then it's done and dusted. So, that's the first thing out of the way. What about the second thing? Well, that's this Mournival event stuff that I want to quickly touch on today. So, what are Mournival events documents? What are they doing? Well, often a subject that comes up in my videos is, hey, since Forge World is doing such a piss-poor job, can the community get together and make their own rule sets? Well, basically, the community already does. The Mournival events team, sorry, forgive me for getting tongue-tied, they're based here in Australia, and what they do is they take what Forge World has done and try and improve it, refine it, expand on it. Because obviously Forge World doesn't. Mournival events likes to do FAQs, for example, if Forge World is slack on them, which Forge World is slack on them. So one of the big things they did was, until Forge World released their last Heresy FAQ, they came up with a, hey, we think this will work. Community should just use this at events for the next, however long until Forge World gets an FAQ out. And that's what we all do here in Australia. And it's great. So this particular resource here, available from the Mournival events page on Facebook, in their files section, goes through, this is basically the index at the start here, talks about the different rules such as Centurion, Decurion. There's different agents. Agents are, think of assassins and things like that from 40k. It's that kind of thing, but for 30k. Revised units, that's where they take an existing unit in 30k and tweak its rules slightly. Revised psychic phase. Now, me personally, it's not my favourite, but it's a better system than Forge World and Games Workshops. And the whole reason they use this was because it's a halfway house between my own and Forge World's, and I did have some input on it. And I don't dislike it, I just like my own more. because I went for a more radical change, whereas this is a much more soft change because they don't want to deviate too much from the existing rules that Forge World has created for things. They don't just completely rewrite things, which is an important thing to point out to people who are looking at this. So, as we scroll down, you'll see it looks very much more like a Black Book document. So, Mournival's Centurion mode. I've been working on my own different versions of this, and there is, well, some changes, we'll say, have to be applied based on points levels and that sort of thing, but each their own. I think it's a really good addition to the game, this sort of rules mode. Obviously, Centurion mode was first dreamt up by Tim and I believe Michael as well over at the Eye of Horus podcast. Well worth checking out. And it goes through what your 0 to 1 choices and things like that are. Good stuff. You get some sort of fluff background. Hey, this is what, the standard force might contain. And go into different types of rights of war that have been thought up. So Breacher Company, Legion Destroyer Company, different things like that. Some different rights of war for the legions as well. Then you get into Decurion game mode, Agents of the Emperor mode. So you see here like Rogue Psyker, of Legion Sleeper Cell, Dark Iterator, Exodus Assassin. So Exodus in this instance, right, is modified from what you get in the original rulebook. That's why it's in here. And you get the idea as you go along. So, lots of cool stuff, and the community will definitely pick up this game if Forge World doesn't pull their finger out of their ass. So, nothing to fear, guys. I don't have to do it. I don't have to be the one that picks up the game if Forge World spectacularly lets down the community. Mournival Events can, is, and has. I just add my own opinion every now and then. And believe me, I've shared enough opinion with enough people that people are probably over it at this point. But yeah, that's the sort of thing going on in the community behind the scenes. So there's a lot of fun stuff out there that the community is doing that you can get involved in, you can try out. And I highly encourage people from overseas especially who've not tried some of the Mournival Event stuff, crack it out. Go on their Facebook page, download some of these rules, try them out for yourself, see if you like it, see if it fits into your army list, if it fits into what you prefer, if you think the units are better, more balanced, that sort of thing. Highly, highly encourage it. There should be more of this going on in the community. Because again, you can't rely on Forge World to get out there, produce the rules, produce the books, that sort of thing, to look after us, the gamers. So, since they won't, the community has. And, it's in good hands. Because Mournival Events, they will write exactly what they feel needs to be done for the game, and they'll get out there and do it. If they think there's an FAQ needed, they'll get out there and do it. And more often than not, in fact, pretty much 100% of the time, their solution is the better solution. Forge World will often bring out an FAQ that's worse. And I've been over the reasons why before, but it basically boils down to a person who's incompetent at their job at multiple levels. The writers do a good job of putting out the FAQ. It then goes off to a person who edits it and doesn't understand how wording works and changes up the phrasing, and then it goes off through another department to get put up online and format it, and it all turns to shit, in short. So, moral of this story. Play Mournival Event stuff, and if Forge World lets us down, there's another place to turn. And of course, go back to Kickstarter, because you can get a pretty sweet Rogue Trader model out of it. That's all for today. Short, sharp, sweet, simple episode. Back later this week with a proper full-on episode. Not quite sure what on yet. I'll see where my fancies take me. Back to the outer circle. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.